Hello everyone, and welcome back to our series on algorithms. In the last video, I introduced the notion of divide and conquer algorithms and how we can calculate their runtime complexity using the master theorem. In this video, we will look at one of the most important applications of divide and conquer, sorting algorithms. Sorting algorithms describe a broad class of algorithms used to sort a given array or list of elements in a specific order, such as sorting numbers in ascending order, strings in lexicographical order, etc. For the sake of this video, we will assume that we are sorting elements from smallest to largest. However, these algorithms can be extracted to any type of comparison. Before we talk about divide and conquer sorting, let's cover the most basic forms of sorting: bubble sort and insertion sort. In bubble sort, we look at pairs of consecutive elements in a list and swap them if they are out of order, repeating this process until the array is completely sorted. Since iteration I is guaranteed to place the ith largest element in the array in the correct location at the end of the list, we require O of n run-throughs of the list in the worst case to sort everything. Since there are O of n comparisons each run-through, we have that the worst case time complexity is O of n squared. To perform insertion sort, we progressively assemble a sorted array from the left end of the list, such that after iteration I, the first I elements are sorted. To do this, we check in iteration I if the ith element in the list is in the correct location relative to the first I elements. If it is not, we find the correct location and insert it accordingly. Since we have to perform O of n iterations and O of n comparisons in each iteration, the worst case complexity is again O of n squared. Okay, so both of these algorithms have quadratic time complexity. This is not really ideal for a sorting algorithm because this means that if the size of the list doubles, the time required approximately quadruples, meaning that runtime scales rapidly. Is it possible to do any better than these algorithms? Well, this is where divide and conquer based sorting algorithms come into play. In particular, we will look at two algorithms which utilize divide and conquer to achieve much faster runtimes. The first sorting algorithm we will look at is mergesort. In this algorithm, we start by splitting the list into left and right halves. We then recursively sort each half individually. Lastly, to recombine the sorted halves, we iterate over indices of the left and right elements, adding the left element to the new list and incrementing the left pointer by 1 if the left element is less than the right element, and vice versa for the right element if it is less than the left element. Let's demonstrate how to prove divide and conquer algorithms by proving this one. Just as with the DP algorithms, we can use induction to prove that this recursive algorithm is correct. For the base case, we have just a single element, which, as the only element in the array, is trivially sorted. For the induction step, we assume that the left and right halves of the array are correctly sorted, and now show that the algorithm correctly merges both halves. Assuming that the elements are ordered correctly, we have that if Li is less than or equal to Rj, then Li prime is less than or equal to Rj prime for all I prime less than or equal to I and all j prime greater than or equal to j. Hence, iteratively merging the arrays as described previously will ensure that the final list is in sorted order. Lastly, let's find the complexity of mergesort. Writing this as a recurrence relation, we have that we are splitting each array into two parts, meaning A equals 2. Each with a size approximately half of the original, meaning that B equals 2. To recombine these parts, we have to perform at most n-1 comparisons. Hence, we have that the kind of complexity is given as T of n equals 2 times T of n over 2 plus theta of n. As we saw in the last video, we can solve this using case 2 of the master theorem, which tells us that the worst case complexity is simply given by theta of n log n. The other major sorting technique which utilizes divide and conquer is quicksort. Quicksort is very similar to mergesort. However, it decreases the amount of time needed to merge, whilst increasing the amount of time spent splitting. The algorithm for quicksort is as follows. Choose some arbitrary pivot element P. Then create lists L, R, and E, corresponding to left, right, and equal respectively. Iterate over each element X in the list. If X is less than P, add it to L. Else, if X is greater than P, add it to R. Otherwise, just add it to E. Recursively quicksort the left and right arrays, and then concatenate L plus E plus R. Let's prove the correctness of this algorithm as well. Starting with the base case, we trivially have that for a list of size 0 or 1, the list is automatically sorted, so we are done. For the induction step, we simply assume that the left and right arrays are recursively sorted. Since each element in the left and right lists are in the correct order, and every element in the left list precedes every element in the right list, we have that concatenating L plus E plus R gives the correct order of elements. The runtime of this algorithm is heavily dependent on the choice of pivot. If the pivots are chosen close to the median during each iteration, the left and right arrays are approximately half the size of the original, meaning that the recurrence relation is simply the same as that for mergesort. Hence, the best case time complexity is theta of n log n. However, in the absolute worst case, the pivot chosen in each iteration is either the minimum or maximum of the list, meaning that either the left or right list has length n minus 1. Since we need to run the algorithm for O of n iterations to completely sort the list in this case, and O of n comparisons are performed at each iteration, we have that the worst case time complexity is actually O of n squared. Nevertheless, as it turns out, the average time complexity is still O of n log n, so this is still good enough. But to decrease the chance of worst-case scenarios, we can perform several optimizations, such as randomizing the pivot choice or sampling multiple pivots and choosing the median pivot, but we won't get into the specifics of that here. You may have noticed that this asymptotic bound of theta of n log n appears to pop up pretty frequently for these kinds of sorting algorithms, and you would actually be right. To understand why this is the case, we must observe that sorting a list is effectively the same as trying to rearrange a given permutation of elements into the correct order. If two permutations are different from each other, then it stands to reason that at some point during the sorting algorithm, there must be some comparison between elements which differs between the two permutations, as each sequence of moves needed to sort a given permutation is unique. Hence, we can obtain a lower bound on the optimal complexity of comparison-based sorting by looking at the maximum number of comparisons required to distinguish between two given permutations. Basic combinatorics tells us that for n elements, there are n factorial possible permutations. Hence, we would need to make log base 2 of n factorial binary comparisons in the worst case in order to tell the difference between any two permutations. By Stirling's approximation, we have that log base 2 of n factorial is approximately n times log base 2 of n minus n times log base 2 of e. Hence, we have that the complexity of sorting is given by omega of log base 2 of n factorial, which is omega of n log n. Therefore, the sorting algorithms described earlier are within a constant factor of the theoretical limit of comparison-based sorting algorithms, meaning that any further improvements to the sorting algorithms would only produce constant time speedups. To summarize, we showed that divide and conquer techniques can be used to construct efficient comparison-based algorithms such as mergesort and quicksort, which operate in O of n log n time. In the next video, we will conclude our discussion on divide and conquer by tackling convolution and the fast Fourier transform. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.